Hi and welcome back to FindersBeepers History Seekers on the catch-up video. I always look forward to these videos. I don't know why, because they're an absolute pain to edit. I'm not going to lie, they really are. But I really like going back over all the stuff that we've looked at in the house. Stuff that's not explainable at the time. Stuff that I find out extra. Like I found some really good stuff this week. Some really good stuff. So, let's see what's first up.
But look at this. Look at the ceiling. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. But wow. Such an amazing place. The work on these ceilings are crazy good. Look at the ceilings. Look at that. It's almost like, it just makes me think like a French chapel or something, that. But look at it in, what that word on my foot then. Look at it in here. This is the main doors to come in. And you'd walk through these. Oh look, they've covered up the tiles as well to save them from being damaged. But you'd walk in and see this. Absolutely amazing. And I bet that looked fantastic in that centrepiece up there.
Now, loads of you loved this place. You absolutely loved the architecture. You loved the sort of spooky setting of it and how it was in the middle of nowhere. Also, I think people just loved, I don't know, the atmosphere of the place and how it felt inside, and the dripping water and the spooky cellars and the massive outbuildings that, to be fair, we didn't really get to see properly. And I will go through a comment, a very long comment in a minute, of somebody else that's been there. And it's really good. And there's so much that I missed. But I just think so many of you wanted to buy the place and do it up. And obviously, I don't think there's many people that will have enough money for that. But if I had the money, I would love to do it up. It was so nice. But let me get the comment to read for you. It's a very long comment, but it's really interesting, and normally I tend to stick to little comments to talk about, but this one is worth it. Here we go. Me and my daughters have visited this mansion a few times. It's quite a hard one to get in normally. The burnt out room is the ballroom. I love that. I didn't know, and I'd not put that together, but it makes sense because it's a huge room. It's a strange place. We caught something on camera in the attic. The shutters bang in the wind and it generally has a strange feeling to it. There used to be a huge hole in the back wall where you could get in, but when the restoration began, the stonemasons rebuilt it all and it looks like there was never any damage. I nearly went through the floor twice on this one. We tried to sleep outside one night on an exploring adventure until we heard the sound of the ballroom music. Wow. The ballroom music and carriages driving by. We left. Yes, a dark history. We've explored a lot of old buildings in Ireland, but this one stays with for a long time. I could be sitting in my bed at night reading month after visiting this place, and suddenly its creepy feeling will just come over me. It's like energy kind of sticks to you and visits you when you're not expecting it. Saying that, I'm quite sceptical, but this house shook me. There's a lovely ice house in the grounds. I would have loved to see that. They used to take water from the lake in winter and store it in there. The owner also had the railway line running there. Now, talking about the railway line, I heard a noise that scared me, and then I was like, oh, it's just a train. Must just be a train running past.
Tin. The top of it is tin. Oh, it's mad. Oh, it's a train. I heard a noise outside. I didn't know what it was. It's like a really low groan, making a weird noise.
The train line that runs past there has been shut down for years. The train station is no longer in use. That's now freaked me out even more. Dark history. I don't even know how you walked around this one at night. You either very brave or crazy. The gardener's cottage is at the back of at the back is a beautiful red brick Victorian building, and there's what's left of greenhouses and sheds for heating them in the walled garden. What an amazing explore, Matt. I've been there. Even though I've been there, it was wonderful to see you explore it. Thank you. The room with the skylight was the kitchen. So, yeah, a lot of you got that right as well. A lot of you put that they thought it might be the kitchen. They've put you very brave. The grounds are amazing too. The floor on which you were on, and you thought it was the servants. A couple of the rooms were nurseries for the children, and maybe for the nanny to live in. We managed to get in the roof past the blocked door, and the attic rooms were up there too. Ghost trains, wouldn't be surprised. So it's a bit weird, isn't it? And like, they got a dodgy vibe off the place. To be fair, I sort of did and I didn't. Like, when I first went in, I was like, wow, look at this place. And then it just got weirder as the explore went on. And a lot of you felt the same. And that brings you to the next bit.
And then some more machinery type stuff that I don't know what it is. I've got no clue. Probably from air filtration and pumps and stuff. I don't get things like that. Oh, this room leads on to somewhere else there.
So in one of the rooms further on, we got a hissing noise over the top of me, and lots of people heard it. And lots of people heard other noises as well. Now, I feel like this is getting a bit of a theme over the last few weeks of noises in the background, and it does put me on edge a little bit with things. However, there was one thing I will say. The microphone on this, I've actually got an external mic at the moment, but the microphone on this, on the camera that it's been used on, basically at the moment, I think it's either on its way out or it's got some dirt in it, and there is a bit of a sort of background white noise on there, and I noticed it more on this video than any other video. Now, a lot of people won't be able to hear it because it's quite a high-pitched noise, and I've got quite sensitive ears, but it's definitely there. So I don't know if it was that people picked up on, or whether it was something else. Now, I could hear quite a loud sort of hiss noise, and I don't think that was connected to the mic at all. I think it was nothing to do with that. So I don't know. Once again, I just don't know. And that brings us back to the main noise.
Oh, I know where we are. Look at this. This is the stairs. These are those stairs in the grand entrance. Look at those arches as well. Can you hear that? Somebody just burped outside.
Right, so we've got another mid-edit sort of addition. So I've just been editing it, finding the little bit where the burp was. Now there's something else. There's a massive bang, and I don't think it's me, but it sounds like it's right next to me, and I don't even acknowledge it. If I banged something or tripped on something, I would have gone, oh my God, I've just tripped up. But I don't. And the bang sounds like it's right next to me, so I have no idea what it is. Listen again, see what you think.
Oh, I know where we are.
Like, seriously, what is that? Because that's not me. Unless I've just booted something and I don't remember booting it. But I don't think it's me. It's a clear door to walk through, so it makes no sense at all. Anyway, just something else I noticed while I was editing.
Oh, I know where we are.
Now, we've had a whole host of comments about the burp. And also that there was another burp further back that I didn't mention at all. Now, the one thing I will say about that is I did hear it when I was listening to the live. I've not listened to it since, and I can't tell you whether it was me or if it was somebody else. I'm not sure. So we'll focus on the main one, the one that scared me, because I know that wasn't me. 100% know that wasn't me. That was something outside. And a lot of the comments have been, oh, it was too loud to be outside. It must have been inside. But if you look at the windows in there, the big arch windows, there's a gap at the top. So if they'd been stood outside that window, it would have been as if they were in the room with me. It was loud, but if you've had like 25 pints of Guinness, it's going to be loud. And then I could hear them moving around outside. If they were inside, I would have seen them. So it's definitely somebody there, 100%. It wasn't one of these, ooh, what was that noise? That was a person. That it was undoubtedly a person. It wasn't how we've had people saying, was it a toad or was it an elk? We definitely don't have elks in Ireland, and it wasn't a toad. It was definitely a person burping. 100%. Definitely 100% somebody burping. But then I heard them moving about, banging, and you probably don't hear all the noises that I hear. I can hear feet moving, I can hear bits of glass being stood on outside the window, so I know exactly where they were, but there was no torches, no torchlight at all, unless, and somebody said this in one of the Facebook Lives I did the other day, that with a lot of security have like low light torch, so like a green or a red light torch, so they can see where they're walking, but they don't need to brighten up everything round them. So it could have been one of those. I don't know, but either way, very weird. Now, we had a couple of comments about Bear not being there and why wasn't he there, as Bear quit the channel. Oh, God. No, not at all. It was in Ireland. I had to go on the plane. Bear can't go on the plane. Easy as that.
I never noticed this door here, and it's a lift. It's like, what do they call them now? Where they put, I swear I can hear electrics, listen. What is that all about? Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a little mini lift, and they put like things in it and send it up to the main house. And look, it goes right up. Right up.
Now, one of the other things that got mentioned quite a lot is something that I already knew. I was just being a bit thick. So the lift that comes up one side of the building is a dumbwaiter, which many people told me. And I did know that. I was just being a little bit dense. Sometimes when I'm exploring, I'm having to focus on loads of different things at once. So I'm looking at what's there, but I'm also making sure I'm not falling over. I'm listening for noises. I'm looking round me. I'm looking for torchlight. There's a lot of stuff happens that you've got to take on, especially when you're on your own, and your senses are heightened. So then to focus on something as well can be quite difficult. Like if you're in like an abandoned cottage, it's not so bad. But when you're in a big place like that, you're quite open and exposed. You can't just hide in a little toilet or whatever. Generally, you're in massive rooms. So you've got to be thinking about what's around you all the time. So I don't always get things right. I'm very far from getting things right every time. Like I forget stuff, or I just literally I know it but I can't remember it, that sort of thing. So yeah, it was great that people reminded me, and that was to bring all the stuff up and down, like the food, the cutlery, the plates, things like that, the laundry, all sorts of stuff went up and down these things. So yeah, great for people to remind me what it was.
Absolutely amazing, and I bet that looked fantastic in that centerpiece up there. And you've got all the, I want to say neoclassical. Is it neoclassical? Look at this. Look at the work on this. Oh, that's wonderful. Look at the work up there, and look at this. Hidden away behind it. It's the most wonderful ceiling. Oh, that's not a ceiling, but you know what I mean.
Now, a couple of people told me off for apologising, and a couple of people sort of praised me for my passion. I love things like fireplaces and ceilings, and sometimes it is just an empty room and I can just be like, wow, look at that ceiling, or look at that fireplace. And I don't know, I just don't feel like some people have that same passion. So then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I know I'm looking at this and you're probably wanting to get into a room where there's more stuff, and it's only because I want the best for you guys. I want to show you the best, but I also want to enjoy the bits I enjoy, and I forget that you guys probably enjoy the same stuff as me anyway. So it is definitely something I do apologise in life far too much anyway. I apologise all the time. I don't know why. I say sorry a lot. So probably need to step back and stop doing that. But it's only because I want the best for you guys. I want to give you the best content. And if you think this one's been good, wait for a few weeks' time. Wow. Wow is all I'm saying.
What is this? What is this? What's that from? Am I looking at it the wrong way? Should it be this way? I don't know.
Now, towards the beginning of the video, I found this sort of weird cross metal-y thing, and I had no idea what it was. I had got no clue at all. It was up against a wall. It was a bit odd, and I wasn't sure. And then people noticed towards the end of the video.
Right, I've decided. I'm only going to be here once, more than likely, in my lifetime. So why not have a look round properly?
When I was looking over the edge of some like railings, it was the same pattern. It was the same details. So that's where it had come from. It come from outside, been brought inside. So well spotted on that one, because I don't think I would have noticed that. Right, I just want to give you a bit of a background to this place. I have found quite a lot of history. I want to try and bullet point it for you rather than just read everything. So the property is 30,000 square feet. It's in 115 acres of land with stables, greenhouses, gatehouse, railway station. Now I have got a couple of photos, but it's great to see the bridge that I walked across and how overgrown it is now in comparison. There's trees all around the side of that bridge, and now it's in comparison on that picture. I think it's a painting. Pretty sure that's a painting, but you can see the water runs underneath it, and you can see it in the distance on this one as well. I think that's the same bridge you can see in the distance with the ladies. That looks like a Victorian kind of photograph, maybe, I don't know, maybe late 1800s, I'd say, that picture. And then I don't know when the top one's from, but that's looking across the water, and you can see the size of this place. It's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. And it was built in the 1700s, so it'd been around a while already at that point. It was already 100 years old. So as I mentioned in the video, the building was built in 1760s. I actually think I said 1770s, but maybe it was originally started in the 1760s and finished in the 70s. It was remodelled in the 1860s. So it had quite a lot of work 100 years later to make it look a little bit better. I think maybe potentially extra wings and extra bits were added onto it. The family was really, really, really high up. Now the house stayed with the same family from the 1770s right up to the 1990s. So in the 1990s, on the death of the Baron at the time, it fizzled out and it was passed on to his second cousin once removed. So it was still in the family now, even till today, but obviously he wasn't bothered about it. He didn't care about it like the family that was direct descendants. He wasn't too fussed, so that's why it was left to go into disrepair, and it's gone downhill since 1990. And you would think, looking at the place, it's been empty a lot longer than that. Now there has been restoration quite recently on it. In the 1970s, the west wing roof was severely damaged by fire, so that's the fire that we will have seen. And help with the heritage grants, the roof was replaced, reslating, new lead lining, things like the kitchen annex and skylight that we saw, so it was the kitchen, were restored along with the roofs of the gardener's lodge and the gatehouse. So things have been done in the 90s and then sort of stopped, and I don't really know why. Now, one thing I have just found out, there's a mausoleum there as well. A folly, a gatehouse, there's a church, the railway station, which we knew, the farm workers' houses, the round tower, the tower house, the schoolhouse. So there's loads and loads and loads of buildings on this land. Absolutely loads. The White Bridge is in need of repair, and the surrounding lake is need of cleaning and re-landscaping. The pump house, the kitchen gardens, the walled garden, the arboretum, the haw-haw. I don't know what a haw-haw is. If you know what a haw-haw is, and I don't mean the woman that lives down the road that's always got blokes round, I don't know what a haw-haw is, but they're all getting work done, so that's good. So it's looking like in the long-term future, they're looking like they're doing some sort of restoration in the future where it will become somewhere you can go and visit, which is brilliant. I absolutely love the thought of being done up properly, a visitor centre, and people being able to go and look at the history, because things like this are just lost. But I'm so glad we got the opportunity to go and have a look at the place before that happened, because otherwise it could be totally changed and not be like it was, and we get to see it before that happens. Right, so this is the information that I found out while I was there. Resentment was fostered amongst the tenants, who were thrown out by the lords in order to clear the land, and a general lack of respect for the families existed at large. Treating their tenants and cattle grazers as slaves, the lords continued to disregard the people of the hall until they were, I'm having to replace words, so if I'm being a bit weird, that's why. Until they were essentially run out of town, and the original 11,000 acres of land were broken up to accommodate over 200 families and farms. The disparity between the lords and house staff can still be seen today through the building structures, with the east and west wing being two worlds apart. The main family, the lords, enjoyed large, spacious rooms and well-designed interiors, while those who waited on them, so they lived in the other wing, they weren't upstairs, they were in the other wing. That makes sense. That makes so much sense, actually. Spacious rooms and well-designed interiors, while those who waited on them lived in cramped, confined conditions. According to the 1901 census, there were 5 family members and 14 servants living in the house. Now, it shows on here that there was many stories, ghost stories. It's been spoken about over and over again about how haunted this place is. Whether you believe that or not is down to you. Like I mentioned, I think it's the White Lady of Galway is supposed to walk the halls, and whether that's true as well, I don't know, but it is very interesting. I'd love to tell you the name of the place. You can probably work it out yourself. However, it is very interesting. One of the other things I found out, pre-hall dates, there's a lot of Celtic stones and engraved stones, and apparently there was a burial site not far from there, and also a place of like ritual and like where they went to pray and that sort of thing as well. So really interesting stuff, and I love how far back the history goes. But if I went on about it all, we'd be here all day.
In my lifetime. So why not have a look round properly? Fucking hell, my torch. I've just been taking photos. Jesus Christ, that shit me up. I've just been taking photos using the torches to light the front of the building up for the thumbnail. And I put the torches back in my bag, and it just slid down inside and made a bang. But also I felt it rub against my back. So I thought somebody was touching me. It was a bit weird. But yeah, we're all right. We're okay. We're not dead.
And finally, there was a couple of people that I need to apologise to. When I was filming outside and my torch slipped inside my bag and made me jump, I think I gave half of you like a heart attack. So I do apologise for that. I can't help it. If I'm scared, I'm going to show you I'm scared. I'm not one of these that'll just be like every 5 seconds for the sake of it. Literally, I was just absolutely terrified what was behind me, who'd grabbed hold of me, but it was just my torch. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to make things up. I'm not going to go like be genuinely scared and then say, oh, I don't know what that was. If I know what it was, which I did, I'll tell you. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the video on Sunday as much as I did. Like I said, I've got some cracking videos coming up for you. The one on Sunday is quite emotional for me. I don't know why. I have a really weird overcoming feeling of being emotional. Then a really unexpected explore the week after that, and then the one in Northern Ireland is just so good. Right, I'll see you all soon. Love you all. Bye bye.
So here I am again, editing in bed. I've literally just got back from the Halloween special. I've been asleep all day because I'm so tired, as you can tell. But there is loads more information, and I didn't want to put it all in because at the end of the day, I don't want to bore you to death if you're not interested. I know some people like a snippet, like to look at little bits. Not everybody wants to know everything. So what I've done is I've put a link to another video that I found some of my information from down in the description. It's also where I got the drone footage from. I can't kind of pinch that. So in return for that drone footage, if you could just go over and check out that video, if you are interested in a bit more of the history and the dark history, just go down to that link. Yeah, that's Fat Bear's leg, by the way. Yeah, go down to that link and go and check out a little bit more and about the child abuse and everything. It's so good. Not child abuse, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.